Well, good evening, all of you. Here we are, slightly later today on Thursday night. Just listened to football earlier on, so that's why a bit delayed. But here we are on Thursday this week with our Facebook Live, and this time it is Mayflower Pale, our latest beer. So it's yet another one of the Mayflower series. We spoke about Pilgrim Fathers, and the week before we spoke about Mayflower Gold. So this is our Mayflower Pale. It's 4.5% American style pale ale. You see number 15. It's sort of a little bit, it's based on a bit of the Mayflower Gold recipe with a bit of a blonde recipe in there as well, with something extra in there. So this has just been brewed. It's only been in the bottle a couple of weeks now. I have opened one bottle already. This is only the second one of this year's batch that I've poured, but I know some other people have been trying it this week and saying it really tastes lovely. I mean, I had one, I think it was Monday, it tasted very nice as well, I have to say. One of the things I just did notice about the one I poured on Monday was because it's quite new, the sediment was a little bit loose, but that one's actually not too bad. It's poured nice and clear, so I don't think there's any problem with it now. Probably just that one on Monday was only just a week old. Now that's sediment nice. So remember, our beers are bottle condition. Most of them means there's still a bit of yeast in the bottle. If fermented in the bottle, gives a much better flavour, much deeper flavour, much more natural carbonation to it. It makes it so it's not flat, but it's not fizzy like Coca-Cola. But it gives great flavour to the beer. So it's a nice pale ale, and it's the aroma is the key thing on here. I'll take the taste of it. It's a gorgeous taste. Now, the different thing that we do with the Mayflower Pale, and it's one of our first beers we did this with, we would do what's called dry hopping with it. It's a bit of a weird phrase, really, dry hopping, but basically what happens is that during the brewing process, obviously, we put hops in during the brewing process, partly for bitterness, they get boiled up, partly for aroma. So you put in some where the beer is being boiled up, the wort, we call it the wort. Remember when we make the beer before it ferments on the brew day, we boil up the hops. First of all, one lot of hops that gives the bitterness to the beer. The second lot are called the aroma hops. They give the aroma to the beer. And then what we do with dry hopping is we actually put beer into the fermenter where it's fermenting away. Remember the fermentation process, that's the sugar in that wort turning into alcohol. Now if you put and the first part of the brewing process, the hops are put in when it's hot or very warm, and you do actually lose some of that aroma from that. If you put it in dry hopped when it's in the fermenter, so you put the hops in when it's cool, when it's nowhere near as warm or cool, sort of about 20 to 25 degrees normally for fermentation, what it actually means is that you keep a lot of those aromas in there, so you get an amazing aroma. And sort of that's what's the American style IPAs and pale ales that are used to, that have become very popular recently. It's the dry hopping that gives that there. So yeah, it's a lovely peachy aroma you get from the American hop Willamette, which is the main one we dry hop with. So yeah, a lovely, gorgeous, peachy aroma you get from there. And that's from the dry hopping. And it's strange, sort of, sometimes when I've done a tasting session with beers, and we've got a series of our beers, and it's a couple of times it's happened to us that people have said, I like that one and that one. Oh, they're good, that one, but I really like that one and that one. And it's the dry hopping that makes it. So with some people, it might be the type of beer that you really like are the ones that are dry hopped. So good to see James, good to see Dominic there. So good to see you watching in tonight. So that's our Mayflower Pale, 4.5%. It says on the bottle there that it is a food match for that is food pairing, chicken, fish or seafood. Yeah, would go excellently with all of those things. So it's nice and refreshing, but being 4.5%, it's got quite a bit of still got quite a bit of body to it, and there's bitterness as well. Comes from the English hops used in there. I'm pretty sure it's a Pilgrim hop we're using there to give that bitterness. So it's a lovely beer to go with food as well. And remember, we've said it before, often beer makes a much better match to food than wine does. I love my wines, don't get me wrong, but very often our beer can be an even better match for food. Just point out the glass we've got there. last we got there, that's the Rochford Beer Festival. Now, what year was this? Rochford Beer Festival, 2017. Rochford Beer Festival. We hope we can get that on this year, but we'll have to see. And it's got it's Dave we've got here, Dave the Mallet, as he was known there. His memory of him, and he passed away the year before. And I'm just doing this as well because his partner, Frances, about a year ago this month, that she passed away. We miss her very much, and we've actually got a photo made. We're going to put up in the Micropub for when we reopen the Micropub. So we have it, and we'll definitely raise a glass to Frances when we do open the Micropub and put that photo up. Okay, so bottles of this available now, the Mayflower Pale, as well as a bag-in-box if you want a draft beer at home. So both of those will be very popular. And we've still got a very good range of beers for you to take home. So you can have your pub at home, you can come and do click and collect, or we do locally deliver, obviously. With the Mayflower series, we've got the Pilgrim Fathers, that lovely black IPA we sampled last week. We've got the Mayflower Gold, 6.5%. We've got the Mayflower Gold Vintage from 2020 at 7.5%. So, series of Mayflower beers ready for Mayflower 400. Then we've also got our core classics, the Blonde, the Dicky, the Zeppelin, Rhythm Stick, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. We've got our dark beers in bottles and a limited number of polypins. We've got the Barista, we've got the Chapel Street Porter, we've got the Chili Porter, and then a couple of special beers as well. We've got the Blonde Bombshell, the stronger version of the Blonde, 5.9%, and Rocket Full of Rye, 7%. We've got some bottles of that available now, a very limited number, but they're all available, so get in your orders now. And hopefully some of those we'll still have ready for you when we do reopen the Micropub. Just a little aside, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. Found out today that some of you have been ordering Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll by email, and the emails haven't come through. Found out today that actually our email system has got an adult word protection. So if you put in the subject sex, then the emails were rejected, they got bounced. So I apologise to anyone who sent an email through ordering Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. It didn't get through to us. We found out the reason. That's been taken off now, so don't worry about it. So a bit of an unusual aside there. Now, as I say, we are getting ready for reopening soon. It's just over 4 weeks now, well, just under 4 weeks now before we will be reopening. When we do reopen, we'll be open on Tuesday to Sunday. We're going to be closed on Mondays. It's just a very quiet day for us, so we're just going to have that as a break for all of us. So we're going to be open from Tuesday till Sunday when we do reopen. So Tuesday the 13th of April, our first day open to the public. So we look forward to that. Those of you who've been past the Micropub this week might have seen that we've now got a marquee up. We put that up on Monday. We have to say a massive thank you to our friend Pete from Billericay Blinds, who helped us in putting that up, and helped in particular fixing it firmly to the floor with his expertise. There's no way we could have done it without him. So massive thank you and cheers to Pete for helping us with that. So that marquee will stay up there, sort of semi-permanent structure. We can fit 3 tables in there. We should be able to fit 4 tables down the other side of a forecourt, so 7 tables, each holding up to 6 people for when we can open, serve and outdoor only. So that would be a really good thing, and we can make sure we can serve you as many people as possible. We just need the nice weather now. So those tables can hold up to 6 people each. We want to try and get those finished, so booked up, have as many people as we can on the table, obviously. So if you are booking up as a couple, then we'll probably want to put one couple at one end of the table, one couple at the other end of the table. That's just how it goes. So just so we can serve as many people as possible. Open hours when we're open. So Tuesday and Wednesday it'll be 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday it'll be from midday till 9 p.m. and on a normal Sunday afternoon from 11 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. So booking slots will open up from next Wednesday. We know there's going to be a big demand for them, so when we first open them up, it'll just be 1 session per day for people that they can book up, and 2 sessions per week. and well, we first released them. We'll then probably after a week or so, we'll probably open that up a bit more to other people, so you can book other ones. But we just want to make sure that everyone gets a fair crack of the whip, really, and we can serve as many people as possible. Obviously, we're really looking forward to seeing you again, and I know lots of you are really looking forward to getting back to the Micropub. We've got lots of beers ready for you. We've been brewing a Nausea Gold the past week, so that's going to be ready just for when we reopen. And of course, it's also brewed as well for being Nausea Gold. It's ready for those when those beautiful bluebells, come out in Nausea Wood. So they'll be open, and we'll hopefully have the Micropub open at the same time. So that's another one to really look forward to. Okay, so it won't be long to reopen. We're getting back to normal. The jabs are going. I've got my jab lined up for tomorrow, so I'm going to have my jab tomorrow afternoon. I read the other day that, well, someone recommending that when you have your jab, you don't drink for 2 days beforehand, and you don't drink for 2 weeks after. Of course, there's absolutely no scientific basis for that, but probably tomorrow I'll keep off the sauce for the night, just to make sure that there's no sort of bad reaction to the jab. It can happen. It just shows the jab is working. So looking forward to that tomorrow, and hopefully all of you are as well. I know lots of people have already had that, and lots more of you on the way. It gets us back to normal. So, and let's say it's that light at the end of the tunnel. So we're looking forward to seeing you soon. Remember, we can still get beer to you whilst we're waiting for that pub to open. We've still got lots of lovely beer for you, and we've got lots of lovely beer waiting for when we can welcome you back. Outside it'll be, but soon, hopefully after that, we'll be able to welcome you back inside the Micropub as well. Getting back to some sort of normality, but the main thing is we just want to get you back and see you again, see those lovely smiling faces, and see some chat with you, and just enjoy some beer. So, great to see you all, and hope to see you again soon. Cheers.